For me, it was doing the command performance in Australia in 1988 when we met Her Royal Highness Princess Diana and His Royal Highness,
now the King,
Prince Charles, which was a great momentous occasion, especially for me being English and coming from a working class little village in the middle of England. You know, who knew I was going to be, talking to the future King of England. Yeah. But that was one of mine.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think mine was when we played in Cuba. We'd never even thought about going there, really. Well, maybe we dreamed about it. But when we played there, it was on the verge of a hurricane, Dennis, and we couldn't see the stage before we went out. It was pouring down rain, and we went out to the audience. It was 175,000 people. We were the only act on the bill, and that really kind of brought home to me how much our music means to everybody in the world. But to see that many people in one place at one time, standing in the rain, singing along with you, was quite a moving moment for me, and that touched me very deeply.
My main instrument is acoustic guitar. I love acoustic guitar, and in particular 12-string. When I first saw a 12-string when I was about 18 years old, I just had an affinity with it, and before I'd even played, I thought, God, I love the look of that guitar. When I played it, it was very drony, and so that became my instrument. But I also play piano. I don't play great piano, but I play enough to write my songs. And for several years before I played piano, I played drums for a while, but so did you.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
But guitar for me, and it helps me because that's where I write all my songs. Guitar or piano, but acoustic. I don't use any synthesizers or computers when I'm writing. I just use it all organically. It comes from my giant brain.
Right.
And how about you?
Now about me. Well, I played drums very badly when I was in my teens. I was in a very famous band in Australia called the 19th Generation. Try looking that one up.
You had a moustache too.
Well, that was after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got rid of the mustache.
Okay.
Chicks didn't dig it.
They didn't?
No, that's another story. I guess, I don't really like the term voice being an instrument because, I don't think mine is.
I think it is.
Well, yeah, people do, but I just do it, and I love it. I love making records with this guy and singing on stage with him, and I think when I use my instrument along with his instruments,
right,
we do pretty good.
I think unconsciously, when I was very young, I have two sisters and they're each 4 years older than me, and one's 8 years older than me. And so I grew up in the house with them playing Elvis and Frank Sinatra, a lot of orchestral stuff. And at first I didn't like it, but then I got to love it. So consequently, I got to love all those early songs from the 50s, especially musical songs from South Pacific and Gigi and Oklahoma and all those. But my main influence was when I saw the Beatles live in 1964. My whole life changed, completely. I was a Beatles fan before that, but when I saw them live and saw what was going on and the electricity, it was like, oh, wow, that's what I want to do for a career. And fortunately, I was able to do it, to push through all the trials and tribulations of being a musician.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's another bunch of coincidences. When I was growing up, I had a sister who was 4 years older than I, and my dad was a singer, and all the music that I was listening to in the house was Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett. There was a very famous lady, Julie London, and I liked the music, and I think I got a sense of my love for melody listening to those singers. But once again, when when the Beatles came out, I saw them, as did Graham, live, and it blew my mind and changed my musical taste overnight, although I didn't think anything about being in music. But coincidentally too, I was into the musicals, especially the movies. South Pacific ran in Melbourne for 5 years. 5 years, a movie, which was amazing. And I saw it maybe 20 times, and all my friends were out playing football and doing other stuff, and they thought I was weird because I wanted to go see South Pacific or West Side Story or Oklahoma or any of that stuff. So I was always attracted and inspired by people with voices. And certainly after the Beatles, I mean, I love vocal bands, Bee Gees, Eagles, Queen, anything that is strong vocally is my bag, man.
What is it like being a songwriter today? For me, it's just the same. It's what I do for a living. Before anything else, before a musician or a guitar player, I'm a songwriter. That's my craft, if you like, because I love it so much. And I wrote my first song when I was 13 years old. So next year I've been writing songs for 60 years, and I've written hundreds and hundreds of songs. But for me, it's the same today, although I think I've got a better grip on it now than I did last week even. You keep getting better and understand it more. But now in these later years of our career, I kind of know when it's coming on, and I know what's going on with. If I hear something or see something, it'll be a trigger, and I'll hear something in my head, but I can keep it, I can store it till I get to an instrument or write something down. Then I can kind of push enter and it goes into this picture. So it's a whole process. Maybe it's like a muse or something, but I've become very friendly with it, and we work together great. It sounds weird, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, but you're weird, so that's okay.
I think that's good too. And for Primary Wave, I think it's been a great association. I think we're almost 3 years in now, and it's been a fantastic cooperative relationship that I know we both enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing. Obviously, when you get into a relationship business-wise with another entity, you don't really know how it's going to work out. You go on your gut feelings, and when you meet people for the first time, you kind of get a vibe for who they are, because we've been around the block, obviously, quite a bit. But it's been a wonderful relationship from my perspective. The avenues that Primary Wave has been able to exhaust for us and explore for us has been amazing. And it's all increased our base as far as our fans are concerned. It's increased our social media awareness, and quite, well, not coincidentally, this year has been the best year we've had touring-wise. And I'm sure our relationship with Primary Wave and the work you guys do has certainly been a big part of that, and we thank you for that. I've said this from the beginning of our career when we were interviewed. One's goal was to have a gold record in Australia, and we got that. And then we wanted a platinum album in America. We got that. And when you get that, whatever that is, you go, oh, is that it? So then you want more of that, or then you want to explore more concert places all over the world. So we've done that. I don't necessarily have like a specific goal. My goal is for us to continue for as long as we can at this level, because that in itself, after 47 years, to be where we are in the scheme of the music world is phenomenal. And my goal would be to make sure that we stay there.
That's my goal too. I think to stay to be where we are and be able to play at the level we are now, and to bring our music to our audience. That's what my goal is. So really, we achieve that goal every day so far, but I'd like to keep on achieving it for a long time. I mean, we're coming up, next year's our 48th year, and certainly like to get to 50 and maybe beyond, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the goal is to be physically able to do that in a nice way, you know.
The goal is to keep chasing the goal.
That is, yeah.
That was profound.
Somebody should write that down. The process of writing a song is kind of different. It's always different, you know. But I have my kind of bass process, and for me that's playing a guitar or a piano. But there are certain times in the day where I'm in that zone, and I know I'm in that zone, and I could be on a plane or even walking down the street, and I just know I'm in the zone. And if I was to sit down at a piano or play guitar at that moment, I will write a song, probably in 15 or 20 minutes. But sometimes I sit down at the piano because I just want to play, and nothing happens. And within 5 minutes, if nothing happens, I walk away. The great thing about writing a song, for me, and I know every songwriter is different, I never know what it's going to do. I never know where it's going to go or what it's going to be. I'll sit at the piano and sometimes I just look at the keyboard and then I just start playing something. And 20 minutes later, the song's finished. I have my phone, I record it on the phone, and I listen back and, oh, that's really cool. I might change this or that, but very rarely. Then, and that's it. You know, I always think it should have happened to somebody else, because there are so many musicians that are really proficient and really know what they're doing about counterpoint and melody, this, that, and the other. But I don't know any of that, you know, and I don't want to, because what I do know is how to write a song, but it's hard to explain it because it just happens, and I hear it and I go, oh, that's really nice. So that's it.
Well, first of all, if the talent is there, that's a given. You have to surround yourself with the best people. I think every act can tell you about, you know, I got involved with this guy and he was dodgy and they stole money from us and this guy did that. Get a great manager, a great legal advice, and a great agent. And perseverance, I think, too. You've got to be willing to be rejected time and time again, or maybe not. But unless you have a thick skin or develop one pretty quick, then it's going to be a very hard road to follow.
You have to believe in what you're doing, in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, there's no way you're going to convince anybody else to. It's just pointless. You have to be good, and you've got to know that you're good and be positive, and don't listen to people that try to bring you down. I mean, in our career, in our early career in Australia, we got knocked down left, right and centre, but people said, you can't do that, you can't sing all those big ballad songs, you know, you're going to get murdered. And we did get murdered, but we're still here because we're tenacious and we believed in what we were doing, and like terribly so. We wouldn't take no for an answer from anybody. And here we are, you know, so yeah, belief and faith in what you're doing. And
We're still standing.
Yeah.